Why did I get into advice? What do we actually do? And what is our vision for the future? I wanted to record a little bit of a different video to share a little bit of my backstory, how I've spent the last 16 years in the advice industry, what we basically do with our clients and how we assist them, and my vision for the future of how we plan to help more business owners create financial freedom. So let's get stuck into it. So those of you who don't know me, I'm Jackson Milano. I'm also known as the Wealth Mentor, and I've been involved in the wealth and business strategy space for over 16 years now. I got involved in this space because my parents were business owners. My mum was a hairdresser, my dad was a tradie, and they worked incredibly hard in their businesses. They were very good at what they did. They focused very hard on honing their skills, but I very quickly realized that even though you are very good at what you do, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be successful in business and you're going to be able to create a lot of wealth. My parents were typically battlers for the most of my life, and they very much lived hand to mouth. So I wanted to break that chain. We've come from a very long history of working class, of people that basically just struggled to make ends meet. And sure, we lived a comfortable life. I never went without anything, but there was never any excess. And I wanted to change that. So when I left school, I decided to pursue a traineeship and in financial advice. I joined a business called the Financial Advice Center, which was basically like a call center for the banks. The call center basically was selling insurance and investment products through telemarketing on behalf of the banks. And I came on board as a trainee doing my diploma in financial advice, which would basically provide me with what's called RG146 and give me the ability to provide personal advice to clients. In the meantime, it was basically appointment setting, calling hundreds of bank customers a day, and essentially selling them insurance and in investment products that were very high commission, and I hated it. I got involved in advice because I wanted to help people like my parents, but I realized that I was in an environment that was basically selling pushy commission-based products to people like my parents who quite frankly didn't need them, and it definitely wasn't going to help them create financial freedom. So I nearly quit, and I nearly went back to going and doing something else. But as I thought about quitting, I had a fleeting thought. And that fleeting thought was, well, Jackson, if you're not going to do something to try and fix this and try and create an industry and a space where you can do what you believe in, then who else is going to do it? Maybe that's a big ego, but I decided I'd take on the challenge. And I basically spent the rest of my career calling myself a wealth coach. I stopped calling myself a financial advisor. And I built an educational-based process through helping people like my parents understand the language of money, set the right financial foundation, and basically work towards creating financial freedom for themselves and their families from basically their first dollar of wealth. Now, at Aureus, we've now been running Aureus. This is our 7th year, and we've been able to help thousands of clients. We've got a team of close to 40 now, and in our business, we help business owners who are typically multi-six-figure, 7-figure and above, take their business profit, maximize that cash flow, and systematically turn that business profit into personal wealth. The reason why I chose to specialize in helping business owners is because, of course, this is where I started. I wanted to help people like my parents, but I realized that business owners have it much harder than many other individuals in terms of wealth creation because business is inherently risky. It takes a lot of bandwidth and a lot of energy in order to grow and scale a business. And I see so many business owners put their personal wealth on the back burner because of whatever it is that they're focused on in their business. They just don't have the mental bandwidth to think about it. And even if they did have the mental bandwidth, they don't have the financial resource, because just because you've got a successful 6 or 7-figure business doesn't mean that you're rolling in cash. And the vast majority of businesses that I've ever worked with suffer from what I call cash flow bottlenecks. They know how to make the money. They just don't know how to keep it, and they certainly don't know how to make it work for them as hard as they know it should at this stage of the game. Funnily enough, I'm currently in Busselton, and I just attended a mastermind to successful business owners, teaching them about the millionaire mindset. And for basically everyone in the room, they all resonated with the idea that they haven't been prioritizing wealth enough, and they definitely don't have a good control over their finances, and something needs to change. And this is a very, very common theme. So in our business, we basically help our clients with a number of things. One, we help our clients with what we call profit coaching. We help them review their financial operating system to make sure that profit is not a byproduct. Their business is built around profit being a logical and natural consequence of everything that they do. For so many business owners, they outgrow their financial model and they wonder why they're having cash flow issues and they're struggling to create the profit to pay themselves what they deserve. And there are very simple things that we can do to optimize that without them having to get more leads, sign more clients, just by optimizing that financial model. 2, we help them implement cash flow structure. And the idea here is we want to avoid the cash flow creep, that as their business grows, their expenses don't grow proportionately. And by doing this, we maximize the cash that we've got available. We see the bank balance grow, and then we can help them start turning that business profit into personal wealth. 3, we help them build a valuable and saleable business, because 94% of businesses are either not sold or they're sold for a loss. And this is a very scary statistic. For business owners, we should be building a business for sale, even though we maybe have no intention to sell in the immediate future, but you don't want to sell your business until one day you do. Next, we want to help you with the right tax structures and making sure that there's never any surprise tax bills with the ATO. We sort out your bookkeeping, we sort out your entities, we sort out your tax compliance, your tax planning. We want to make sure that you've got a proactive tax plan that's going to give you peace of mind and certainty around making sure that you never have any surprise tax bills and you also never pay any bonuses to the ATO. And then we also provide personal wealth. We want to ensure that we have a wealth building strategy that's crystal clear on what it is that you're actually trying to achieve. What does financial freedom really mean? And then how do we reverse engineer that to work out exactly what you've got to earn and how you need to allocate that income whilst maintaining a great lifestyle in order to be able to fuel your goals, dreams, and ambitions without sacrifice and compromise. And we also help our clients build multi-7-figure property portfolios, and that typically starts with understanding their borrowing capacity, helping them with a strategic debt plan, and ensuring that they work with the right experts to research and select the right property assets that are going to help them appreciate their wealth aggressively into the future. So my vision is that I ultimately want my business, Aureus Financial, to become the number one business that helps business owners in Australia be able to create financial freedom for themselves and their families. I do that through my thought leadership. I've published 4 books now. I've got 2 more in draft phase, which are hopefully going to be released throughout the rest of this year. My goal is to publish 100 books before I die. I do a lot of keynote speaking, like where I am at in Busselton at the moment. I typically speak at about 100 engagements a year, and I want to try and get in front of as many business owners to help them change the way that they go about building wealth and create a more productive and enjoyable way to create financial freedom, because it doesn't need to be hard and it doesn't need to involve a lot of sacrifice, guys. You just need to understand the language of money and use those tools and frameworks that I share in order to have a very simple, sustainable and scalable path to financial freedom. So that's a little bit about me, my history. Hopefully it gives you a little bit of insight, and if you've got any questions that you'd like me to answer, feel free to jump in the comments. Happy to cover them off in separate videos. If you're interested in finding out more about what we do, grabbing copies of my books or completing our financial performance scorecard, go click the link in my bio. You'll be able to get all of those for free, and we can also have a chat about how we can help you in a higher capacity if you're interested in getting some additional support. Look forward to catching you guys soon. We'll catch you then.